Blessed day, everyone, and welcome to It's When Lightning Strikes. If this is your first time joining this circle, welcome. My name is Grace, and I will be your host. Today, we are going to be starting part 2 of the fourth grandfather's teaching of Bravery as taught by Bear. If you haven't seen part number 1 yet, I would recommend that you go back and watch that so that you have understanding of where we are. I'm not sure if this is going to be just this one more video or a number 3, so that's yet to be determined, but be watching. So what we're going to be going over today is the 7th sacred direction, which is within and is represented by the color purple, and of course taught by our relative Bear. So within is very specific medicine of Bear, and so we'll be looking at very specific behaviors that Bear has that is going to give us understanding and teach us this medicine of going within. And so what we're going to be looking at is hibernation. Hibernation, defined, is a state of inactivity and metabolic depression. So for the hibernator, what this means is decreased body temperature, decreased respiratory rate, decreased heart rate, and decreased metabolic processes. So for Bear, this could be a 12-degree drop in normal body temperature, a heart rate that's cut 50% or more, respiratory rate that's also cut 50% or more, and they may be only taking 2 breaths a minute. And then their metabolic processes are cut by 50 to 60%. So these are all really substantial numbers. And what this kind of speaks to is being in the space between. They're not fully alive and they're not dead either. So they're in this space between, in this, I guess for human terms, we can think of it as, a deeply meditative state for a prolonged period of time, because they're doing this for months. And we need to understand that unless Bear has cubs, they are, digging a den within our Mother Earth, crawling in this den, and they're by themselves. Okay, this is not a group activity. This is a solo event. And they're crawling in here alone to be with themselves, by themselves, for many months in the darkness, and digesting the prior year's experiences. And at some point in the spring, they will rebirth themselves into the world from this really womb within our mother. So to understand digesting the prior year's experiences in terms of Bear, and moving this over to humans so that we have some sort of comprehension here, Bear has to put on a substantial amount of fat and weight to survive hibernation, which requires them to basically eat nonstop for months in order to achieve enough fat to survive the hibernation. In achieving all of this food, they experienced many things. I mean, it may be, lumbering around foraging for berries, a salmon run where they had fights with other bears. I mean, so it could be any number of things. But the point being that they're digesting the experiences of the prior year, being the food they've eaten and those experiences that they had. So in terms of humanness, this would be reflecting upon, contemplating, doing a life review of your life, of yourself, of where you are, where you're going, where you want to be, what kind of a person are you. I mean, it's an endless list of things we can be reviewing for our life and ourself. So turning inward is what we're ultimately doing here. So, which means we're stopping looking outside of ourselves. And we can see this a lot in the world where, many people are seemingly searching for, I'm not even sure they know what, but they're searching outside of themselves, and meaning they're looking to other people, maybe objects, cars, houses, money, any number of things, practices, to make them feel whole, make them feel complete, fill the void within them, whatever they're, searching for, happiness, love. It doesn't really matter. The point being that they're looking outside of themselves. And to some degree, this would be normal. But where things go awry is when you're looking outside of yourself and you're putting the responsibilities of your happiness and your joy and your completion in and of yourself and all of these other things onto someone else, because this is not their responsibility. It's each of our responsibility to ourself to provide these to ourself. Okay, so looking outside of ourself is never the best approach and should never be the first approach. So if we go within, we can discover, if we're honest with ourselves, why are we feeling so unhappy? Why are we feeling so unfulfilled? What is lacking in us or our life that has us, searching high and low for whatever this fix is? And I don't know if it's occurred to anybody, but maybe what you're searching for literally is your true authentic self. And we talked about this in Honesty with Raven, is figuring out who you are in all honesty, your true authentic self, who you are without all the BS, without all the expectations of others in this world and society, and being that, which obviously takes courage. So again, we have a place where all of these teachings are working together in support of each other. So if we go within and we start asking ourselves these really hard questions, we may actually find real answers, and more often than not, we do. And I think we're going to stop there today. This is a lot of information to think about, contemplate, digest, and we'll have a third video where we really dig into this in terms of what this looks like in our humanness. So until we come together again in this circle, I thank you for joining me on the channel where lightning is bound to strike. Please be well.